Inver Grove Heights Community Schools has just finished year one of a 2-year partnership with the Minnesota State University at Mankato and their Center for Engaged Leadership. During this first year, our principals and other district administrators were exposed to some of the highest level, richest staff development that we could provide for them in an effort to engage their internal skills and bring a new perspective to their picture in a way to raise student achievement and really influence what's going on in the buildings and in the district. This is our moral imperative, and we're very proud to be involved in this great endeavor to really raise the bar for all of our students. Here in a suburban school district just south of St. Paul, this is a very important application for us. And I have to say, as a superintendent, one of the best investments that we have made in staff development for principals and other administrative leadership in our district in my time here in the district, and likely in my time as a superintendent.
My experience coming into Inver Grove Heights was the system was very disjointed in terms of what each building was doing. So my experience coming in was that vertical teams were in place so that kindergarten through 12th grade teachers could meet and talk about curriculum, but they only happened 3 times a year, so it was very infrequent of when they would happen. And so the communication loop was off because people would go to the meeting but then not come back and really share what was going on. And there were no solid products that came out of those meetings, right? So they would have this great conversation and then we would just kind of stay in the meeting.
Well, and I'm thinking too that I know when I came in, there were established norms when they were meeting in their collaborative teams at the district level. And I don't know if their trust was there yet because it was such a new thing for the teachers to really come together and dig into the curriculum and set up the pacing and look at the learning outcomes. I don't know if they felt a comfort level at really getting at those courageous conversations with each other at that time.
Right.
I think it's changed.
Oh, I think it's changed a lot, and I think...
And now there's emailing each other and asking those critical questions in regards to the work that they did last year.
So the Institute has helped to create a lot of positive change in our system. We have teachers that are collaborating. Their conversations are focused on students and what they need to be able to learn and achieve. We're looking at student groups that we maybe haven't looked at in the past and really focusing our attention on the things that they need to learn throughout our system. Our staff and our administration are on the same page. There's a sense of community, a greater sense of responsibility, and we're starting to see the results.
You know, we've been involved with the Minnesota State University training with PLCs for the past year. I think the thing that for me that has changed the most is many of us have done the research before. We've read the books, we've read the articles. The learning that occurred during the time that we talked to people who had actually done the work was most helpful for myself and my administrative team. Those folks that were brought in actually had plans about process and logistics that we could implement, and that's where people get stuck. If they knew how to do it, they would have already done it. And you know, if we would have known how to do it, we've already engaged in that process. But they helped us put, you know, theory into practice, and I think that was the biggest change for me. It's also focused our conversations. Our conversations are now focused on the things that they should be focused on, like what are the standards? What are the essential questions? How are we measuring that? What are our subgroups doing? How are we focusing on data? All those different things that we should have been asking as instructional leaders, we are now asking because that's part of our common language that we have in the district administratively. And I think that's a big change. There isn't any question it's been the best professional development I've had, because it's so focused on what's most important, which is how to focus your staff on what actually is learned. That shift from teaching to learning and how to do it. That's been, I think, the most helpful thing.
The future is very bright here in Inver Grove. We're starting year 2 with the Center for Engaged Leadership, working with our principals, making sure that the skills that they've learned last year they can apply and take forward into their buildings, into their professional learning communities. And with our staff, starting year 1, the first cohort with the Center for Engaged Leadership, we couldn't be more thrilled and more enthused about our work here in Inver Grove Heights.